Introducing the Masterclass podcasts from the posts of Dr. Strive Masiyiwa. Whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. Peter Drucker. Over the years, I have spoken to you about the junior class and the senior class entrepreneur. But a week ago, when Richard Branson went into space on his venture Origin Galactic, I started to talk about the masterclass entrepreneur. These are the guys who don't just play the game of entrepreneurship very well, but they have the ability to change the game completely. Most entrepreneurs spend their lives simply trying to join and beat the pack in their industry. You hear them, they say things like, I want to be the best hotel, or I want to be the best mobile networker, or I want to be the best palm oil producer. But entrepreneurs in the masterclass, they want to rip up the whole game and they play by a different set of rules. When I saw that rocket plan, I knew that the game of aviation and its related hospitality services had just been uprooted. What is space tourism? How many people will go up there? We don't know. What I do know is that it will start out expensive, but the cost will become more accessible over time. Just like commercial air travel has over time in many places, not everywhere. And it will create a lot of other opportunities and jobs along the way. I remember when I would tell people that one day they will all want to use mobile phones, or that they would use mobile money. Most people back then did not imagine how much consumers would love all the products and services made possible by these innovations. Did you? To become master class, there are no shortcuts. You must master the basics of junior class, followed by senior class, then comes master class. How will you know when you have done it? Master class is not like Master Chef, where you win a competition. You must be able to build a multi-billion-dollar business from scratch. Most great businesses out there began with a masterclass entrepreneur. The masterclass entrepreneur is not only someone who has the visionary ideas to start something, or even the ability to scale through 3 P's: product, people, processes. There is something else you must have, which is rarely even mentioned, but which everyone knows is the decisive quality: courage. Richard Branson knew that if anything had gone wrong, he would have lost his life, his legacy, and so much more. Some would have said to him, Richard, you are over 70 years old. You have kids and grandkids. You have nothing to prove anymore. Courage. If you are a person who is afraid to fail, or you are always worried about others, about what others might think if you fail, this is really not for you. Just know there is a master class. That Virgin Galactic Unit 22 space flight, which lasted about 1 hour, was 17 plus years in the making. Those of you who have listened to Business Wars now know that this is the type of dedication it took to build some of the greatest companies. As an entrepreneur myself, I only shudder to think about what it really took. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, will also go up into space on his own rocket ship called Blue Origin. There is another business war brewing, which includes Elon Musk and several others you have not even heard of. On the historic flight tomorrow, sitting with Bezos and his brother will be an 82-year-old aviator aviator who spent 6 decades of her life trying to reach space. She never gave up on her dream. Are you asking yourself why space? Believe me, I have heard a lot of people ask that question lately. There is no limit to the wealth that is up there. Don't get caught up in the media hype that space is just billionaire versus billionaire. Even the junior class should be able to see the flaws in the simplistic analysis. I think you all know by now that Jeff Bezos' first job at age 16 was serving as a cook at McDonald's, frying eggs and burgers back in the kitchen. It was there under the famous golden arches as a teenager that Bezos said he first learned about the importance of a customer service. He might be a billionaire now, but look where he started. Every lion was once a yes. You know the answer. What about you? What are you learning right where you are that you can apply to your entrepreneurial journey ahead? Is the sky the limit anymore? Was it ever? Look up at the stars. Not down your feet. Stephen Hawking. What distinguishes an entrepreneur is that they looked their fear in the eyes and they made a move. They certainly aren't fearless. They are humans after all, but at the beginning of their career, they feared they can lose everything, that they were not competent for something, and they were simply not good enough to become successful. However, they didn't let all stand in the way of their dreams. This is a quote from an article of the junior class. Remember, everyone, we all start from there. The age of the instant goal business. In the digital age, any business can be global at the click of a button. Things that used to take decades to do can now be done in a few short years or even months. If you know what you are doing, you can do it with almost any type of business, but each business type will require a different strategy. Take Sasai app as an example. From the day we entered the app stores, we were global. A person can download the app from any country in the world. And use some of its function immediately. A person in Iceland can download and speak to someone in Lesotho immediately. 2 people in Papua New Guinea can download and use it to make free calls to one another. How cool is that? If we are to turn via Africa into global app, it would simply not be possible to use same strategy. But that does not mean we cannot turn it into a Pan-African app. For instance, it would mean a different strategy for sure, and I have thought about it. But currently, we have other priorities. This should inspire you to think about your own business digital play. So this is some of the podcasts from Dr. Strive Masiyiwa. I think you have learned something. Let's try to apply some of the posts of this giant billionaire from Africa so that we can at least improve ourselves from intellectual poverty.